Hey guys, Masked Saiyan here, bringing you another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and as you can see from the title, we have a little bit of a speculation video today, something I thought of while looking at the timeline earlier, whilst preparing everything ready for Gogeta's release and the videos that are going to be upcoming over the next few days. And when we have a look here, this is the schedule from JP, so here we are on what is about to drop on Global. We're getting Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, the Shadow Dragon story event, the free-to-play Great Ape GT Vegeta, and a new Infinite Dragon Ball History versus the Shadow Dragon. So, this is where we are on JP. Battlefield is about to reset as well. Obviously, it's not the same number-wise, but that's also the same. And coming down, we see the next thing that came out on JP was the EZA for Masked Saiyan, and then the TUR Awakenings for Demigra, Mira, and Toa. And this came out around the same time as the EZA for Prime Battle Frieza. So if we have a look here, this is the date that this released on JP, the 30th of October. Obviously it comes out, in my time it's tomorrow for Global. And then when we look at Frieza, Frieza got his EZA on the 5th of November, which was less than a week later. Now obviously we know already from Global, from the news, that the EZA for Frieza is going to be on the 15th of February. So that's actually 2 weeks away. So there's already a little bit of a slight difference. Frieza dropped about a week after Gogeta and is going to drop 2 weeks after Gogeta for Global. But other than that, those things do line up to be basically the same. But as you can see here, what was also released at the same time was the EZA for Masked Saiyan and the TURs for the supports, the Toa. I say supports, they're not support units, but the Mira and Toa are obviously in the Masked Saiyan Dokkan event, and then Demigra, they're all Xenoverse related. They updated the cards to give them the Xenoverse art, and yeah, you can see here, this was released on the 5th of November, which is the same day as the EZA for Frieza. So if you scroll down, the thing that followed up that was Heroes, because obviously they kind of tied that in with the Super Saiyan 4 and the Xenoverse stuff, which Global already got. And then we start to go into Bojack and everything else. So this has got to fit in somewhere. And I know it's not huge news, but obviously, you know, for your boy, like Masked Saiyan getting an EZA is something that I've talked about for a long time. So it would be very good to see this come as part of this celebration as well. Because you could argue that JP, it was timed to go alongside the Hero stuff. But obviously the Hero stuff came technically early to Global because we got it at the same time as JP. So although it doesn't necessarily fit with a Gogeta Dokkan Fest and theme celebration, it's got to fit in somewhere, and it dropped at the same time as the Frieza EZA on JP. So I do think there is a good chance. Obviously I'm putting this speculation video out now because I think tonight when we get the news update, we will obviously see the roadmap for at least part 1 of the celebration. So I honestly wouldn't be surprised if this was featured in the news, but I'm actually going to be at work tonight when the news drops. So I'll be unable to make a video going over the details of all the celebration info. So I thought I'd put this out there now, a little bit early, just to see if this does appear in the news tonight. It'd be pretty interesting to see that I did call it, because I do think it would be good for this to fit in. If we have a quick look at the EZA, so I will do an EZA team building guide, obviously, if it does get announced. But the weakness is the Revenge category. That's going to be very interesting. It is a typical 30-stage EZA, so you obviously get all the Tech Orbs, you get the Tech Grand Kais, and then obviously if you want to go further, you just get a bunch of Zeni. So this is obviously very good. People love the normal EZAs over Extreme Z areas. And then Masked Saiyan, did I actually not bring up his page? I did not. So let us bring him up here. So Masked Saiyan post EZA becomes obviously much better. He gets an all types 3 key, 80% to stats leader skill. Not the highest compared to some of the all types leads that we have, but a lot of these units that are getting EZAs nowadays, you're not going to be using them for their leader skills anyway, outside of the like 120 leads, I guess. But yeah, 3 key, 80%. His super attack, he now infinitely stacks attack and defense while also doing immense damage and lowering attack and defense. So one of the big things with this guy, he was awful for Super Battle Road because his previous passive, he literally didn't have a passive if you were fighting more than 2 enemies. So if you take him into Super Battle Road, he just gets absolutely crushed. Whereas here, he now gets attack and defense 100%, just straight off the board. Then he gets an additional key +1 and attack 50% when facing 2 or less enemies, and an additional key +1 and attack defense 30% when facing only 1 enemy. So he still gets more of a boost when there's 2 or less, and then obviously even more of a boost when there's only 1, which is going to be really good for solo events. But at least in Super Battle Road, he's still getting attack and defense 100%, raising his defense on Super and lowering the enemy's attack as well. So whilst he may not be the card that is going to help you beat Extreme Super Battle Road if you hadn't before, because I know a lot of people still consider it the hardest one, he's definitely going to be much more useful than he was before. So obviously I'm very much looking forward to him. I already have mine rainbowed level 10 links with a spare SA5 copy just waiting, so very much looking forward to that. And then the awakenings for Demigra and Mira and Toa are pretty good as well. Demigra gets an all types leader skill as well. Supreme damage with medium chance to stun. Attack and defense 120%. An additional attack and defense 60 when there are only extreme class allies attacking in the same turn. So obviously on a full extreme team, he becomes much better. High chance of stunning the attacked enemy. So this is from his passive, so it's potentially for 1 turn, 50%, and then obviously his super is the 2-turn chance to stun. And then he can turn into the giant form when conditions are met. So when HP is 60% or less, he has a 50% chance to transform into Final Form Demigra, the last boss from Xenoverse. He has a rare chance to stun, even in his giant form, and he also gets key +1 as a passive. So it's always nice when these giant form units do get a little bit of a boost to their key, because obviously on a normal 3 key leads team, once this guy transforms, you would need 6 key every time for a normal Great Ape character, but he's only going to need 5, which will make it a little bit easier to get his super attack. So he's going to be pretty decent, a nice little addition to the giant form team, because that team hasn't really seen any buffs for quite some time. Then we have the physical mirror. He is going to be very interesting. I'm quite looking forward to trying him out on the power absorption team, because this is a card that we've kind of wanted to see for a while if you're a fan of Xenoverse 2. He also infinitely stacks. He gets attack and defense 100% when performing a super, an additional 30% attack when there's only extreme class allies attacking in the same turn, key 1 with each super attack performed up to 3, and then absorption when conditions are met. So he absorbs Toa and the Toki Toki egg when HP is 60% or less starting from the 4th turn. So 4th turn transformation isn't the worst. HP 60% or less is not the best, because obviously on some of the more powerful teams, especially like power absorption that has a lot of healing, it might be a bit more difficult to hit that restriction. But then he transforms into the final form mirror, the last boss of Xenoverse 2. He stops stacking defense, but he infinitely raises attack still. He gets attack and defense 120 when performing a super, medium chance of launching an additional super attack. He gets an additional 3 key and 30% attack when there are only extreme class allies in the same turn, and an additional attack and defense 5% per extreme class ally on the team. So obviously he's made to go on full extreme teams, and he will be very strong. His transformation might be difficult to see, but he's going to be very good. And then finally, someone I've definitely been waiting for is the TUR for Toa. It was this card getting her awakening that finally allowed Truth to beat Extreme Super Battle Road with no items. So that team definitely on the state it is on Global. I've still been trying it over the weekends for like, I don't even know how many, the last however many weeks in a row. And there's just one final unit to put on the team that is missing, because that team is pretty set in who you really need to use, and there's no good option for the 6th member of the team, and that's where Toa is going to come in really handy. So she does supreme damage, lowers defense, and seals attack, which is obviously very useful for Super Battle Road. All allies 3 key, and an additional attack and defense 5% for all allies per extreme class ally on the team. So this is why she is so good, because on a full extreme tech team, that's 7 tech units, because it includes her and both the leaders, so she's giving 35% attack and defense. So units like Raditz, Demon King Piccolo, who have like a bit of damage reduction, but still take sort of like 20-30k from normal attacks, when they're getting an extra 35% defense, that damage drops down drastically. So, and then for herself, she also gets attack and defense 100% when there are only extreme class allies. So they very much made these 3 awakenings sort of dependent on being on full extreme teams, but that's probably the main place you're going to use them anyway. So one last thing to go over, when these units came out on JP, or at least the awakenings, Toa, Demigra, actually Demigra might have been global. I feel like I've seen him recently. I don't know, but Toa and Mira specifically were not in the general summon pool. They were taken out quite some time ago, which is why you've probably not seen these guys in your summons recently on global. They get added back into the pool, obviously, because they're getting awakenings, but then they also dropped this banner, one of the category type supports, where you can do 3 multis for 30 stones each, and you get a guaranteed featured on each multi. I will probably do all of these because I think both my Mira and my Toa, I only have a single copy, so I must have only pulled them the once back before they took them out of the pool. Obviously going forward they're going to be in the general pool, so you know, once these awakenings and events have come and gone, they're going to be in the pool, so you'll probably pull copies of them over time. But I do want to try them out. I definitely would like to get extra copies. I probably won't go crazy on this banner trying to rainbow them, but I will definitely do at least the 3 30-stone multis. So that is something to bear in mind, that this will drop at the same time if all of this stuff does release. So let me know what you guys think. Are you excited for these units? Obviously, you know I'm very excited for the EZA from Masked Saiyan. We're going to do a resurgence of the All Bardock team and see if we can actually finally beat one of the Infinite Dragon Ball History events, because we've tried out that meme team in its various different stages throughout different Bardock units getting made or getting awakenings, and yeah, another unit that infinitely stacks is going to be really good for that sort of thing. So let me know what you guys think. Do you think we're going to see this drop as part of the Gogeta celebration, or do you think it's going to get delayed, as often happens with Global, and it will just happen sometime later down the line? Let me know all your thoughts on this down below in the comment section. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out my Discord, the link is in the description. Feel free to join in the fun over there, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.